Welcome. If you've landed here, it's not by accident. You're here because there's something inside you, a spark that refuses to die no matter how hard life's tried to put it out. You want more. You know you're capable of more, and you're ready to stop listening to the doubts, the fears, and the people who said you couldn't. This is the place for the fighters, the dreamers, the ones who are tired of waiting for someday and are ready to make today count. Here, you won't get sugar-coated fluff. You'll get real talk, words that wake you up, shake you up, and push you to become the person you know you're meant to be. Every video, every story, every piece of advice is here to light a fire under you and keep it burning. Because motivation fades, but the right mindset lasts. So stick around, subscribe, and let's turn your potential into proof. One day, they'll ask how you did it, and you'll smile, because you'll know exactly where it started. Welcome to the start of your next chapter.
It's crazy, isn't it? How people will look you straight in the eye and tell you what you can't do. Sometimes they'll say it with a laugh, like it's just a joke. Sometimes they'll say it with that fake concern, like they're trying to protect you from getting hurt. And sometimes they'll say nothing at all, but their silence, their smirk, their side eyes, oh, you can feel every bit of it. And maybe you've been there, standing in that moment, hearing those words or feeling that doubt, and something inside you just sinks. Because it's one thing to doubt yourself. It's another thing entirely when someone else confirms that doubt for you. They think you can't do it. They think you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. They think you'll quit halfway like you always do. They think you're all talk, no action. And let's be honest, maybe a part of you has believed them before. Maybe you've got a track record of starting and not finishing. Maybe you've let yourself down so many times that their words feel familiar. But listen to me right now. That version of you, that version that quits, that doubts, that second guesses, that version is not the final you. You've got something they don't see yet, something they can't see yet, because they're judging you based on the old chapters of your story. They're flipping back to page 12 when you're already writing page 127. They think they've read the ending, but you're not even close to done. And the sweetest, most satisfying, most addictive feeling in the entire world isn't clapping back at them. It's not trying to convince them with words. It's showing them. It's walking straight past their doubts, breaking their expectations into pieces, and letting the results speak louder than your voice ever could. But here's where most people mess up. They get caught up in proving them wrong for the wrong reasons. They want revenge. They want applause. They want the "I told you so" moment. And while that can light the fire at the start, the real magic happens when you realize this. It's not actually about them. It's about you. Because when you're out there grinding, sweating, pushing past the limits you thought you had, their voices start to fade. The things they said don't sting anymore because you're too busy becoming someone you can be proud of. But before you get there, before you reach that level of calm confidence, there's a stage where every doubt they throw at you feels like a challenge. Every smirk they give you feels like a dare. Every time they say you can't, something deep in your chest whispers, "Watch me." And that's what I want you to hold on to right now. That whisper, that fire, that little spark that says, "I am not who you think I am, and I'm going to show you." I don't care who it was, a teacher who said you'd never make it, a boss who said you're replaceable, a so-called friend who laughed at your goals, a family member who thought they were being realistic. They don't get the final say on your life. They don't get to decide how far you go. You get to decide. So take their doubt, take their words, take their little digs and their sideways comments and put them in your back pocket. not to obsess over, not to let them eat you alive, but to pull out on the days you feel like quitting, to remind yourself that quitting means proving them right, and you're not about to do that. Because every time you keep going when you want to stop, every time you choose action over excuses, every time you show up when it's hard, you're stacking bricks. And one day, those bricks turn into a wall so high they can't see over it anymore. They can't see you struggling. They can't see you doubting. All they can see is you winning. And the beautiful part? By the time you get there, you won't even care about their opinion anymore, because you'll be too busy living the life they said you could never have. So let this be the moment you decide. You're done explaining. You're done defending. You're done asking for permission. It's time to show them. Not with your mouth, with your results. They said you couldn't? Good. Now you've got something to prove. The people who doubt you, they never seem to be the ones doing more than you. It's always the ones sitting on the sidelines, arms crossed, telling you why your dream won't work. Why? Because it's easier to point fingers than to move feet. It's easier to judge than to try. And it's easier to tear someone else down than to face your own reflection in the mirror. That's why their words can't be your truth. Their opinions are cheap. They cost them nothing to give, but they can cost you everything if you let them sink in. Here's the reality. What they say doesn't define you. What they say reveals them. It reveals their limits, their fears, their comfort zone. And you're not here to live in their comfort zone. Now I know, it's tempting to make your whole mission about proving them wrong. That initial rush, oh, it's addictive. That fire you feel when they say, you'll never do it, and your brain snaps back with, watch me, that's powerful fuel. But here's the thing about fuel. If you don't use it right, it burns too fast. You'll go hard for a few weeks, maybe a month, and then, poof, you're out. That's why you have to learn to take their doubt and turn it into something sustainable. Not just a spark, a fire that keeps you warm for years. So how do you do that? First, you have to let their words in, not to hurt you, but to remind you. Every time they said you couldn't, every time they smirked, every time they rolled their eyes at your dreams, store it. Write it down. Remember it. Because on the days when you're tired, on the days when you want to stay in bed, on the days when the old you wants to show up again, that's when you pull it out. And you tell yourself, no, not today, not ever again. And second, you've got to stop waiting for their approval. Listen to me, the finish line you're chasing, they're never going to clap for you before you cross it. Some of them won't clap even after you cross it. And that's fine, because you're not here for applause. You're here for results. And here's the part that'll hit you in the gut. You don't actually need them to believe in you. You don't need their encouragement. You don't even need their recognition. All you need is you. Think about that for a second. If you bet on yourself like you were the only one in the race, how much harder would you push? If you stopped worrying about proving them wrong and started focusing on proving yourself right, how unstoppable could you become? Let me tell you what happens when you shift like that. You start playing the long game. You stop getting distracted by their comments because you know they're just background noise. You start working in silence, and then one day, boom! You show up with results so loud they can't drown out every single thing they ever said about you. That's the moment you've got to keep in mind. That day you walk into a room and the same people who doubted you can't even make eye contact anymore. Not because you embarrassed them, not because you yelled, "I told you so," but because your success speaks louder than they ever could. So use their doubt, use their criticism, use every little jab, every little dismissal, every little be realistic they threw your way. Not to get bitter, but to get better. You're not just proving them wrong, you're rewriting the whole script. You're becoming someone who doesn't need permission. You're becoming someone who can't be underestimated. You're becoming someone who years from now will look back at this moment and smile, because this was the turning point. And let me be real with you, they're watching, even when they act like they're not. They're secretly wondering how you're still going. They're waiting for you to fail so they can say, "See, I knew it." So don't give them that satisfaction. Every step you take, every goal you hit, every small win you stack, you're building your case. And one day, you won't need to say a word, because your life will be the loudest "I told you so" they ever heard. This is your shot. This is your season. This is the moment you decide that no matter what they say, you're not stopping until the story ends on your terms. And when it does, oh, they'll remember every word they ever said to you. And so will you. But it won't hurt anymore. It'll just make the victory that much sweeter.
There's always that one moment. You know the one I'm talking about. The moment you decide, enough. I'm done being who they think I am. It doesn't always happen in some big dramatic scene with fireworks. Sometimes it's quiet. It's you sitting in your car after another long day. It's you staring at your phone after another rejection. It's you looking at yourself in the mirror, tired, frustrated, done with being underestimated. And in that moment, something shifts. You realize you've been waiting for someone to believe in you, waiting for the perfect timing, waiting for a sign. But here's the truth that punches you right in the chest. That sign, it's you. It's always been you. You've been the one holding the pen to your own story this whole time. You just forgot you could write something new. The turning point is when you finally decide you're not going to live small anymore. You're not going to water yourself down just to fit in to their version of you. You're done letting their words echo louder than your own voice. From this point forward, every step you take is for you. Every late night, every early morning, every little sacrifice, it's all a brick in the wall you're building between who they thought you were and who you're becoming. Now listen, the road from here isn't pretty. It's not some magical smooth ride where everybody suddenly supports you. No, it's gonna hurt. They'll keep talking. Some will laugh. Some will act like they don't notice you're changing. And some will try to pull you back because your growth makes them uncomfortable. But here's the thing. Every time you push through one of those moments, you get stronger. Every time you keep moving when it would be easier to quit, you prove to yourself that you're not the same person anymore. That's the secret they don't tell you about proving people wrong. The real magic isn't in them admitting they were wrong. It's in you realizing you were right about yourself all along. You always had it in you. The fire, the grit, the hunger, it was there. But maybe it took their doubt to wake it up. And now? Now you're dangerous, not because you want to hurt anybody, but because you're unstoppable. Because you've learned the most powerful truth of all. When you stop asking for permission, you start taking control. Let me paint you a picture. A year from now, you're walking into a room full of people who used to doubt you. You don't even have to open your mouth. They can see it. It's in the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way your presence fills the room. They remember the version of you who didn't believe in themselves. And now they're looking at someone who refused to stay there. That moment, it's coming. But only if you make the choice right now to push. No more holding back, no more playing small, no more letting their voices be louder than your actions. You're not just proving them wrong, you're proving yourself right, over and over again, until there's no doubt left in your mind about who you are. So here's the deal.
You can keep sitting on the sidelines, replaying their words in your head, letting them dictate your next move. Or you can decide that today is your turning point. That from this moment on, your effort will speak louder than their opinions. That every single day you're stacking wins, even if they're small. Because one day, those small wins will turn into something they can't ignore. And when that day comes, you'll realize you don't even care about proving them wrong anymore. Because by then, you'll be too busy living the life you built while they were busy talking. So stop waiting for your moment. This is it. This is the scene in your movie where the music starts building, where you take the hit and then get back up swinging harder. This is where you draw the line in the sand and say, this is the day everything changes. They don't get the final say. They never did. You do. And if you're still breathing, still standing, still here, then your story's not over yet. The next chapter is yours to write. Make it the one that silences every single doubt without you having to say a word. Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. The best revenge isn't clapping back. It's not screaming, "I told you so," and it's not throwing their words back in their face. The best revenge is success so loud they can't talk over it. See, when they doubted you, when they rolled their eyes, when they whispered behind your back, they weren't just underestimating you. They were building the fire inside you. And here's the twist. They didn't even realize they were giving you the fuel you needed to go harder. Because nothing tastes sweeter than walking into your own future, a future you built brick by brick, and knowing every piece of it came from the moments you refused to quit. Think about it. What's better? Wasting your breath trying to convince them they're wrong? Or letting your actions be so undeniable that they have no choice but to shut up and watch? I'll tell you what feels better. It's that day when the same people who ignored your calls are now asking you for advice. It's that day when the ones who laughed at your dreams are now saying, "Man, I always knew you could do it." It's the day you realize you've been so busy building, growing, and winning that you don't even need their approval anymore. That's the real victory. Not just proving them wrong, but proving to yourself that you never needed their permission in the first place. Here's the truth. You will not be able to change everyone's mind about you. And that's fine, because your life is not a courtroom and they're not the judge. The real win is living in a way that makes their opinion irrelevant. You want the best revenge? Get so good they can't ignore you. Get so consistent they can't outwork you. Get so focused they can't distract you. Get so far ahead that by the time they realize you're winning, you've already crossed the finish line. And listen, you're going to have days when it feels like nothing's working. You'll question yourself. You'll wonder if maybe they were right. But that's when you remind yourself, you're not here to prove them right. You're here to prove you right. Because here's what's crazy. Once you really start winning, you won't even care about revenge anymore. You'll be too busy enjoying the life you built. The real power is when you no longer need to stand in front of them and say, "See, I told you so." The real power is when they see it for themselves, and it's too late for them to stop you. And if you want to know the secret to making that happen, it's not luck, it's not magic. It's discipline, consistency, and refusing to give up when it's not fun anymore. It's showing up every single day, even when you're tired, even when no one's watching, even when it feels like nothing's moving. Because here's the thing, one day it will move. One day, all those early mornings, late nights, and sacrifices will stack up and you'll break through. And on that day, the noise will stop. Not because they stopped talking, but because you won't be listening anymore. So keep your head down. Work, grind, build. Let them think you've disappeared, because when you come back, you won't be the same person they left behind. You'll be the one they never saw coming. And that is the sweetest revenge of all. Not the words, Not the clapping back, not the petty energy, but the quiet, unshakable, untouchable life you built while they were too busy doubting you. That's the kind of victory that hits them right in the chest and stays there forever. So now you've got a choice. You can sit here, nod your head, feel a little spark, and then go back to the same routine. Or you can use this moment as the start of something different. I'm not here to just make you feel good for a few minutes. That's not enough. I'm here to light a fuse inside you that doesn't go out. Because the truth is, you already have what it takes. You don't need more talent. You don't need more luck. You don't need permission from anyone. What you need is a decision. A decision that says, I'm done playing small. I'm done letting people's opinions run my life. I'm done shrinking to make others comfortable. From this moment on, every time you think about quitting, you remember their faces, their words, their doubts. And then you remember this: you're not done yet, not even close. The world doesn't just need you to win for yourself. Someone out there is watching you. Someone you've never met is about to find hope because you decided not to give up. Think about that. You might be the reason someone else keeps going. You might be the proof that it's possible. But that only happens if you choose to keep showing up. So here's your next move. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop saying, when I feel ready. Start now. Do the small thing today. Then do the next thing tomorrow. And before you know it, you'll be too far ahead for anyone to catch you. And when that day comes, you won't even be thinking about proving them wrong anymore. You'll be too busy proving yourself right. So go out there. Work like they're watching, but live like they're not even in the room. Let your actions be so loud they drown out every doubt. And if this hit you, if something inside you is awake right now, don't let it die when the video ends. Subscribe, because this is just the beginning. You and I, we've got work to do. And trust me, I'm not letting you quit. All right, here's the truth. You've been sitting on dreams for too long. You've been letting other people's opinions, their little comments, their sideways looks slow you down. And maybe until now you thought that was okay. You thought you had time, but you don't. Not to scare you, but time is the one thing you never get back. And the longer you wait, the colder that fire inside you gets. And if you let it go cold, you're going to wake up one day wishing you'd started when you still had the guts. So I'm telling you right now, this is the moment. Not next week, not after things calm down, not when life magically lines up and gives you the green light. This is your green light. Every single person who doubted you, this is your chance to write their name in the I proved you wrong chapter of your life. Every single time you wanted to quit, this is your chance to turn that pain into power. But here's the thing. You can't just feel inspired for 5 minutes and then go back to scrolling. That's what average people do, and you are not average. Average people get hyped for a moment. Winners take that hype and turn it into habits. And that's what I want for you. Not because I'm here to give you some motivational speech and disappear, but because I actually care if you win. So here's my ask, not for me, for you. Hit that subscribe button, because this right here is just the beginning. The next time you feel like quitting, I want to be in your ear telling you to get up. The next time you feel like no one believes in you, I want you to hear my voice saying, prove them wrong. The next time you feel like you're losing, I want you to know you've got someone in your corner. That's what subscribing gets you. Not just videos, but a voice that refuses to let you waste your potential. Because deep down, you know you're not done yet. Deep down, you know you've got more in you than they ever imagined. And deep down, you know the best way to silence the noise is to become so good, so relentless, so unstoppable, they can't even look away. So this is it, your move. Close the gap between where you are and where you know you're supposed to be. Stop waiting, start building. And when they ask you how you did it, just smile, because you'll know. Now go, prove them wrong.